What's up? What's up? We back with another episode of the More Action Podcast. I'm your host, Brandon J. And in this episode, I'm going to break down why secured cards and or pledge loans could be the best option for you building your credit.
What's up?
Life of a hustler, gotta do it for mother, gotta do it for father, even though he act like a sucker. Life of a hustler, gotta do it for granny, gotta do it for brothers, even if they think I don't love them. Been getting active and hustling.
And here we talk about finances, business, and most of all, credit. With that being said, secured cards, pledge loans. Let's talk about it. I first heard about pledge loan through Navy Federal. So if you don't have a bank account with Navy Federal, I'm pretty sure pledge loans are a thing with multiple banks, but I'm using Navy Federal as an example. And then as far as secured cards, Navy Federal and Discover, the top two banks, in my opinion, to get a secured card at. What is a secured card, first of all? A secured card is when you take your own money and give it to the bank so the bank can see how you are with money. Now, obviously, you can have a checking account, savings account. They're not going to be able to build your credit based on how you treat your checking account. So you have to establish a form of credit through credit cards, installment loans, pledge loans, secured cards, right? If you were to, for example, give Navy Federal $200 of your own money, they're going to put that on a secured card. Now, this secured card is going to be treated as a credit card. The only difference is it's not the bank's money you're using, it's your money. So that same $200 you gave them, you're going to be borrowing from. You got to pay a bill this month. Use that secured card to pay off the bill. And now you're going to take money you make throughout the month and pay off this secured card. So even though it was your money in the first place, you have to pay yourself back. A secured card is just a test to see how you will handle a credit card. You are putting your money up and using your own money to establish credit with the bank. The way that this will work is by using the secured card as if it's a credit card and paying it off. So even though you're paying yourself back, you're paying the secured card off, which is going to help build your score. And after 6 or 7 months of doing this, Navy Federal will upgrade you, meaning that $200 deposit you made will go back into your checking account. They will return it to you because credit cards are not the same as loans. It's revolving, meaning once you've paid it off, it's right back so you can use it again. So that $200, every time you would pay it off, it was there for you to use again. It wasn't like this is a one-time thing. You give us $200, pay it off, and now it's a paid off loan on your credit report. No. Once they give you the initial deposit you made back, the $200, they're going to give you a line of credit. So if you gave them $200 of your money, you used it and paid it off, for 6 months in a row, they are now going to give you that $200 back, and they're going to give you a line of credit from the bank for $2,000. What I can tell you is that the more money you put into their secured card will increase the amount of money they give you on the line of credit once you upgrade. Now, let's talk about pledge loans. Pledge loans is the exact same thing. Only difference is once this reports to your credit, it will report as a paid off installment loan. So if you have $2,000 sitting in a savings account, right? You would go to Navy Fed and say, I'd like to apply for a pledge loan. Now, once you go through the process, you are going to give them $2,000 and they're going to give you in return a loan for $2,000. Now, why do this, you may ask? Because paying off loans and paying off credit cards builds your credit. Paying for things out of your own bank account does absolutely nothing for your credit. That is why when you shop around and pay for your groceries and pay for your bills with your debit card, your credit score won't move an inch. But if you use the exact same money, give it to the bank, ask for a loan, and then use the loan, pay for your groceries, pay for your bills, and then pay off the loan, now you're building credit. See what I'm saying? The reason that this is important is because a lot of people can't just go get a car loan, for example. They can't just go get a mortgage loan or a credit card because your credit score isn't good enough. It's easier to get approved for a secured card because you're putting your money up first. It's easier to get approved for a pledge loan because you're putting your collateral up. Keep these two options in mind. If you have money sitting in a checking account or a savings account, every time you spend $1 out of those accounts, you're not getting rewarded for the purchases like you would on a credit card, and you're not building your credit like you would with a pledge loan or credit card. Understand, money movement is where everything starts to work out in your favor. If you just have money going in one spot and out of that same spot, whether you realize it or not, over the years, you're just spending more money. You're not making any interest on the money you're holding. It's technically worth less each year because of inflation. And on top of that, you're not building your credit at all. I want any and everybody to get in the credit game as easy as possible. And sometimes you can't just go apply for a credit card and get approved. You can't just get approved for any type of loan you want, even if you have the money. So I want everyone to know that these options are out there. If you have money sitting in an account or just sitting under your mattress, whatever, in a closet, shoebox, you can take that money and put it in other places that will actually start to give you a return. High yield savings accounts, for example. Most people keep their money in a savings, and that'll only give you 0.5% return on your money. Keep these things in mind. High yield savings accounts, pledge loans, secured cards. These are routes you can go with the cash you just have sitting to start building your credit and or making your money work for you. Can't forget about inflation. Prices are going up. So if your money's staying the exact same, you technically just lost some of it. Okay? If your money's not growing with the price of goods and services, then your money is worth less each year. And that is why I am so interested in how all of this works, because it's easier to get approved for $10,000, $20,000 than it is to save it. Okay. Having access to money will free up a lot more of your time, because now you don't have to work for it and spend your time saving. You know what I mean? You can just obtain the money through access with your credit score, especially if you start to work on it. And also keep in mind, loans are not classified as income. So if you get your credit score up and you actually are able to obtain a couple of loans, a couple of credit cards to make moves and get a return on your money, turn 100 into 1,000, whatever it is that you do, that money is not classified as income. So if you use it, you aren't going to get taxed on it. If you get $20,000 from the bank, that's $20,000 free and clear. And now you take that $20,000 and go turn it into $40,000. You didn't have to pay taxes on that startup capital because it wasn't income. It was a loan. So just keep this in mind. There's a lot of ways to go about things when it comes to money. And I just want to open your mind up. You know what I'm saying? As I do every single week, right here on More Action Podcast. Get at me. It's Brandon J. And follow me on Instagram, The Real Brandon J, More Action Podcast, either one of my Instagrams. And I appreciate everybody who's been following, watching, subscribe, like, comment. And don't forget to check out my book on Amazon, The Credit Curriculum, Basics of Money and Credit. You can get it on Amazon for $22 right now. Go get yourself a copy. But with that being said, Brandon J with another episode of the More Action Podcast. Until next time, you know what it is. Peace.